things that I, certainly in my own health and wellness practice, is I try to do things that seem sustainable and reasonable. So, for example, I'm a social drinker, but the zeitgeist would tell you, and the popular sentiment is drink zero alcohol. Okay, I don't think that's realistic, and I don't think that's something that's actually contributes positively to your wellness. One of the things that I love about EverMe is it's sort of putting all those things into context for people.
And that's the word. It's context. We live in a very reductionist society. Everybody's getting these little sound bites, and it's this laser sound bite on one area.
Yeah. Don't drink ever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? If I'm depressed and the one time I have a drink is when I'm out with friends and I'm having a laugh for 4 hours. Yeah, the context matters.
The contribution that drink with your friends makes to your longevity and wellness is immense. And so this idea that the damage, potential damage to your liver from that, evening of a couple of beers is not overwhelmingly offset by the benefit, the health and wellness benefit of spending time with your friends and having some great laughs over the. This is not an equation that makes any sense at all. That people would even, as you say, get to a reductionist point where they just say, well, oh no, I'm going to go out with my friends, but I'm not going to have a beer. I'm going to have a green tea, and the people get into that place. That's not a healthy place to be either, in my opinion.
We're trying to give people the chance to make a choice. You know what I mean? Like some people, maybe it's not a great idea to have a drink. Maybe they have a predisposition to alcoholism in the family. There could be a million extenuating circumstances, but we're trying to give people a little bit of a calculus on, you know what, this isn't really that big a deal. I don't have to be that strict about it, because you're going to get this, they call it orthorexia. It's kind of getting obsessed with all these rules and it's impossible to keep track of them all.
In and of itself. This idea too of like, I'm cutting out, all sugar or I'm cutting out, French fries. I'm cutting out things like radically like that. I think you get back to these principles of moderation, right? And it's just proven time and time again that when you're living a balanced lifestyle that has things in moderation is when you really get the most benefit from the activities.
And you know what? Up until 1970, moderation was easy. Now moderation's hard. Everything's ultra processed. It's a bunch of crap. Like I was talking to the guys earlier, and it is about getting down to just real things, real food, better connecting with your body, following your instinct. And I think, we talked about creating your own blue zone. We had Dan talk to us. How are you going to create your own blue zone in a society that makes it very, very hard?
Right. And it's compounded by the idea and the fact that society also tells you, well, here's what a blue zone should look like. And we obviously all know that it's not a one-size-fits-all discussion at all. So you got to be very sort of reflective on what works well for you and have the confidence, to know, well, that's not right for me. That's not right for me. This is right for me. And I love the way we've laid out the content in EverMe for that purpose. Everybody can see where everything else fits. There's this relative index showing you clearly where one thing fits versus another. And it's obviously the case that if you're depriving yourself of sleep on a consistent basis, it does not matter how much NAD drips you're doing or how regimented you are with your workout or how good your diet is. You've got a core foundational pillar in sleep that's broken. And so the negative impact in any probability outcome, any analysis of outcomes, the probability is you've greatly impacted your longevity. So I think it's like, I love EverMe for showing people that and giving people the confidence that, this really is available to everyone and accessible to everyone.
And it really is, again, we're trying to give people enough information to make a choice. It's just, you know how it is when, if the rule was you have to work out 7 days a week for 3 hours, well, I'm just not going to start because there's no way I'm going to do it.
Totally overwhelming.
Right? So I'm just overwhelmed. And moderation is impossible to understand now. I don't even know what it looks like anymore. So we're trying to give people kind of that gut feel again. It's a modern day solution for a modern day problem.